Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve. The Kraft Cheese Company, who also bring you Bing Crosby every Thursday night, present each week at this time Harold Peary as The Great Gildersleeve, written by Leonard L. Levinson. We'll hear from The Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. But if tomorrow's wash day and you homemakers are bound to be hurried getting lunch, let me give you a tip. Serve the folks macaroni and cheese. Do you say you haven't time to bake macaroni and cheese on wash day? Well, of course you don't. But haven't you heard of Kraft Dinner? With Kraft Dinner, you can make grand macaroni and cheese in just 7 minutes cooking time. You see, you don't bake Kraft Dinner macaroni. You don't fuss with grating cheese, because each package of Kraft Dinner contains an envelope of Kraft grated, all ready to sprinkle in. With Kraft Dinner, you get fluffy, tender macaroni drenched in cheese goodness, and you cook it in 7 minutes flat. See for yourself tomorrow. Ask your food dealer for Kraft Dinner. And now let's visit our friend, the Great Gildersleeve, who's been long noted for his easygoing disposition. In fact, his disposition was so easygoing it finally went. Uncle Mort's face has been getting longer and his temper shorter, and he's starting to throw his weight around with unpleasant results everywhere it's landed.
Oh, my goodness, Marjorie. I'm late to the office again.
Oh, good morning, Uncle Mort.
Good morning. All right, am I supposed to starve around here? Where's breakfast? Bertie, breakfast.
Yes, sir. What do you start off with? Grapefruit, cantaloupe, strawberries, orange juice.
What's the trouble? Don't the stores still sell prunes?
Oh, I thought you were sick and tired of prunes.
Whatever gave you that idea?
Oh, yesterday morning you flung yourself out of the house saying you're fed up, and I asked Leroy what the trouble was, and he says you full of prunes.
Excuse me, folks, I gotta hurry to school.
Yeah, come back here, young man. School doesn't begin again until next September.
Just my luck. Oh, what am I saying?
Now, Uncle, why don't you sit down and eat the nice egg Bertie's fried for you?
That's what I'm trying to do. Bertie, what is this, a fried egg or the stopper out of the kitchen sink?
It's an egg, Mr. Gildersleeve, and it was cooked
It wasn't cooked, Bertie. It was vulcanized. I give up. Just wrap it up, and on my way downtown, I'll drop it on a scrap rubber pile. By George, I'd like to slap a Jap in the map with this scrap. And there's going to be a war in this house, unless I start getting fed properly around here.
My, he's worse today than he was yesterday when he poured the coffee in his lap and then spilled the cream on his vest, thus dissolving the sugar in his pocket.
Gee, I wonder what's wrong with Unc lately. He's been as jumpy as a kangaroo on a pogo stick.
Yes. Poor Uncle Mort.
You mean poor us? We're the one he's doing his jumping on.
You know, I think I have an idea what's troubling him.
Gee, what is it, sis?
Uncle Mort hasn't any love life.
Oh, for corn's sake. Be serious, can't you, Marge?
But I am serious. If he could only get excited about some woman, it might calm him down.
Oh, you mean he ought to get unto himself a wife?
What does he want a wife for? He's got Marge to sew on his buttons, and you to cook for him, and Judge Hooker to fight with. What more could a guy want?
I don't necessarily mean a wife, Leroy, but some attractive woman he could get interested in. Then he wouldn't have time to be irritable or critical. At least we could experiment.
Okay, but who'll we get to turn on the glamour?
Well, how about Mrs. Salisbury Twitchell?
Nope, her face has had too many retreads.
Well, what do you say to Miss Rosita Callahan?
Oh, she's got a pan like a rabbit.
Now, wait a minute, brother. Who's going to fall in love with this girl, you or Uncle Mort?
Oh, gee, I was just giving you a man's viewpoint.
Well, who would you pick up?
What about Amelia Hooker?
Judge Hooker's sister?
Sure, she's awfully nice and jolly, and she makes the swellest cakes and candy.
Yes. She's a high school teacher.
Is that so? What does she teach?
Oh, she teaches girls domestic silence. Gee, this'll be a cinch.
I don't know about that. You can't make a silk purse in a pig's eye. Now, building up a romance for your Uncle Mort ain't gonna be no picnic.
Picnic? That's it. We'll have a picnic on Sunday and invite Judge Hooker and his sister.
Uh-huh. Now make some of my famous potato salad. That ought to bring Judge Hooker.
And I'll ask Amelia to bake one of her luscious cakes. That should bring Uncle.
Yeah, and it'll probably bring all the aunts, too.
No, Marjorie, this is Sunday. The day I rest my feet. I refuse to go on your picnic.
But why not, Uncle Mort?
Well, you've heard about nature lovers, haven't you?
Of course.
Well, I'm a nature hater. Rocks, skunks, snakes, bees, swamps, mosquitoes. You can take all of them and give them back to the Boy Scouts and tell them to give them back to the Indians.
Oh, but Uncle Mort, think of all the fun we'll have at Underwood Falls.
What fun? Grinding the rubber off our tires?
No, we're saving rubber. We're taking the excursion train.
We? Who all's going on this pickle and potato salad promenade?
Well, there's Leroy and me and Judge Hooker and his sister.
Judge Hooker, yeah. Is Amelia Hooker going too?
Mm-hmm. And she's baked the most delicious devil food cake. For you, incidentally.
For me? But why devil's food?
I guess it's because she thinks you're such a handsome devil.
Handsome devil. Who, me? Oh, no.
Oh, Uncle Mort, that's the first time you've laughed in a week.
Huh?
Now, come on along. You'll have fun.
Marjorie, I've told you how I feel about picnics.
Well, strange how Amelia thought you were an outdoor man. She said that you remind her of Gary Cooper.
What's so funny about that? Amelia's entitled to her opinion. Gary Cooper, eh? Gosh, I don't know what to say. Gary Cooper, huh? Well, I don't know.
Oh, why don't you join us, Uncle? We're leaving on the 10 o'clock.
Gary Cooper, huh? Excuse me, partner. Would you mind stepping away from that there mirror? Thanks. Yeah. Oh, I see what she means by Gary Cooper. Amelia was talking about the wide open spaces.
Oh, my. Isn't this beautiful?
Mighty pretty country hereabouts, ma'am. The air is so fine and clear. Yes. You just say the word, Miss Amelia, and I'll climb that var tree and bring you down some eagle eggs.
Oh, no, thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, then, can I fetch you some more tater salad?
Oh, no, not another thing, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Now, Miss Amelia, no need to be formal. Just call me Throckmorton.
Well, all right, Throckmorton.
Sounds mighty like music hearing you say it, ma'am. Mind if I sit alongside of you here?
No.
Oh, that's all right. Don't move. Excuse me, Miss Amelia, but whereabouts did you put that devil's food cake?
Well, I put it right where you...
Never mind. Marjorie, have you got a nice wet cloth?
Oh, Throckmorton, what a shame.
Yeah, that was a darn good cake. Why can't you be more careful where you put your circumference, you big pudding punch?
Now, Horace Hooker, stop insulting Throckmorton.
Oh, I don't mind. Come, Miss Amelia. Let's wander down to the pond and look at the water
Be
lilies.
careful, Amelia. Don't let the big bullfrog sit on a lily pad.
Why, that little joker.
Oh, look, aren't they pretty?
Would you like some? I'll wait out and get them for you.
Oh, no, Throckmorton, you'll get your shoes wet.
Oh, no, I won't. I'll just take them off. And my socks and roll up my trousers.
Now, be careful, Uncle Mort.
Don't worry. Ooh, the water's cold, isn't it?
No, Daniel Boone, it's just your feet that are cold.
I'll show you, Hooker. In just a second, Amelia. I'll have your bouquet in just a...
Throckmorton, say something.
Can't. Probably has a frog in his throat.
Look, his Panama hat's come to the surface. It's drifting away.
That's all right. He's probably weaving another one underwater.
Oh, here he comes. Well, thank goodness.
Who put that hole there? Oh, my goodness, I've ruined all my cigars.
We'll help him out, Horace.
Look at the big flounder. Here, Gildy, take my hand.
Yeah, thanks.
Is it very wet in there?
Oh, no, Judge. Come on in. The water's fine.
Hey, let go. Ooh. Now look what you've done. Now I'm all wet.
You're telling me.
Oh, now, boys, that's enough fun for one day. Come on out.
Yeah, gladly, Amelia.
Sit down here, Uncle.
Yeah?
Well, one thing good. It's wash the cake icing off your trousers.
Gee, there must be an easier way of doing it than that.
Here, Leroy, please dry off my watch.
Okay, I'll wring it out.
My goodness, give me a towel, someone.
Why don't you just shake yourself, you little Airedale?
Look at me, I'm a mess.
Yeah, you haven't changed a bit, Judge.
Here's your watch, Unc. Jeepers, look at the time.
Oh, it's almost time for our train.
And the station's a mile away.
Oh, gather up the picnic things, Leroy.
Where's your coat, Throckmorton?
Coat? I hung it on a limb of a tree while we were playing baseball. Oh, yes, there it is.
Well, I'll get it for you. Then we must hurry up. Oh,
What's the matter, Amelia?
look. A bird. It's building a nest in your coat pocket.
What's that? Let me see. Look, everybody. A bird's building its nest in my coat pocket.
Oh, how sweet.
Well, what a pity we have to dispossess her after all her work.
Well, what are we supposed to be, the FHA? Shoo her away and let's get going.
Oh, Horace, you're too cruel.
I am not. Well, what are you going to do? Leave your coat here?
Yes, by George, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Uncle, you'll catch cold.
No, I won't, my dear. The memory of that little mother bird's gratitude will keep me warm.
Gee, Unc, that's the only bird in the country with a double-breasted bungalow.
All right, Sir Walter Galahad, come on or we miss the train. Help me with our stuff, Amelia.
Yes, coming, Horace. That was a very sweet gesture, Throckmorton. I like that very much.
Now, Amelia. It's nothing that Gary Cooper wouldn't have done.
Can you carry the big basket, Unc?
Yeah, sure.
Jeepers, Unc, why are you leaving your coat here?
Well, my boy, in the first place, it's made a wonderful impression on Amelia. In the second place, the rest of the suit was ruined anyway. And in the third place, that bird that was building the nest was a woodpecker. And I never argue with woodpeckers in the first place.
The great Gildersleeve will be with us again in just a few minutes. Meanwhile, a suggestion about getting your food budget to balance. You're on the lookout for economical main dishes, I know. Well, let me point out the thrifty product called Kraft Dinner. For Kraft Dinner not only gives you grand macaroni and cheese in a jiffy, it's very economical, too. To make this delicious Kraft Dinner macaroni and cheese, you simply cook the special Kraft Dinner macaroni in boiling water. You cook it not more than 7 minutes and drain off the water. Add a little butter and milk. Then, with the Kraft grated that comes in every package, you sprinkle the cheese flavor through and through the fluffy macaroni. In as little time as it takes the coffee to perk, you have a grand money-saving main dish ready. Macaroni and cheese that the whole family will love. Many smart homemakers are never without Kraft Dinner on the pantry shelf. So tomorrow, why don't you get your pantry set for delicious macaroni and cheese that you make in 7 minutes? Get several packages of Kraft Dinner. Love, like mumps and measles, hits awfully hard when it hits late in life, and Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve has it bad. For the past week, Uncle Mort has been wooing and wowing Amelia Hooker. It's reached the stage where he's writing poetry. Now we find the Summerfield Shelley reciting a sonnet written especially for the fair Amelia.
If this were in the days of old, and I a knight so brave and bold, I'd storm your castle, Miss Amelia, and on my charger I would steal you. You like that one?
Oh, indubitably, Mr. Gilsleeve.
Yeah, thanks, Bertie. Or do you think she'd like this one better? 2 eyes of blue, cheeks soft as silk, a skin as white as grade A milk, a neck as graceful as a swan, a step as dainty as a fawn. The girl I mean is quite a looker. Her name is Miss Amelia Hooker.
Well, Mr. Gilsleeve, it's hard to choose between the two of them. You sure is some versifier.
Do you mean versifier?
No, it's a fire on account of that hot poetry you write. I bet you could get a job poetizing greeting cards.
Oh, I suppose I could, but I don't want to lose my immature standing. Incidentally, Bertie, don't mention a word about this to anybody, will you please?
Oh, no, sir.
I wanted to get your reaction because I'm going to take Miss Amelia for a stroll through the park tonight and read her 15 or 20 of the poems I've written. There's going to be a wee fiddle moon.
Hello? Is anybody home? Oh, there you are, Bertie. I just came over to borrow a pan to put under our sofa on account of the fellow she's calling on me tonight is such a drip. Oh, hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. How's the big romance between you and Amelia coming along?
What are you referring to, Dottie?
Oh, I heard all about your big moment. It's all over town like a newspaper and I win.
Where did you hear this rumor?
Well, the operator at the beauty parlor told me, and she had it from one of her customers whose sister-in-law has a maid that worked next door to the judge's law clerk, and she got it straight out of Erskine Starr's column in the afternoon paper.
What?
Mm-hmm. It said, what big businessman, size 48 stub, is that way about the charming sister of a prominent jurist? It looks like a romance of April and November.
What are you thinking about, Throckmorton?
Those crickets, Amelia. Listen to them. It's hard to believe that they can do that just by rubbing their hind legs together.
Oh, dear. Is that what you were really thinking about?
No, Amelia. I was thinking of your lips, like twin petals of a dewy rose. They... Amelia, there's something I must ask you.
Yes.
Would you give me a...
Yes.
Would you... If you got a match, my cigar's gone out.
Oh, really, Throckmorton, you shouldn't smoke so much.
I know it, but when I look at you, my heart's on fire, and I just can't help smoking a little bit. Incidentally, Amelia, I wrote a poem this afternoon. Would you like to hear it?
Oh, yes, I'd be glad to.
All right. It goes something like this. If this were in the days of old, and I a knight so brave and bold...
Birthday.
Well, what do you want?
Excuse me, buddy, but have you got a dime?
No, beat it. Can't you see I'm busy?
Oh, excuse me. I didn't know you were engaged.
We're not engaged. We're just good friends. Go on, scram.
But all I asked for was a dime.
Amelia, do you happen to have change for a quarter?
Oh, no. No, I don't want a dime. I want the dime.
Throckmorton, I think the gentleman has a cold and is asking for the time.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, excuse me. Let's see. It's in 9:42.
Oh, thank you, Throckmorton. 9:42, huh? That means I got plenty of time. Mind if I sit here for a few minutes?
No, you can have the whole bench. Kind of wet here anyway. Come on, Amelia. Let's stroll across the grass. I still think he's trying to borrow a dime.
Oh, now let's forget everything else. It's a grand night for a walk, and you were starting to recite a poem.
Oh, yes, but I had such bad luck with the last one. I think I'll try another verse. Since I met you, I've lost all care. I feel like I'm walking on the air.
You're not walking on the air, mister. You're walking on the grass.
So what?
So I'm a park policeman, see, and it's against the law to trample on the turf, lounge on the lawn, or gamble on the green.
Who's gambling?
Oh, now, officer, it was purely unintentional.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't see you, girlie. Well, run along, and from now on, try to keep your father on the straight and narrow path. Bye-bye.
Boy, that flat-headed flatfoot. Why can't people let people alone when people are trying to recite poetry to people?
Oh, come on off the grass, Throckmorton, and do let me hear your poem.
Yeah, all right, Amelia. I'll try another one. Let me see. Oh, yes. 2 eyes of blue, cheeks soft as silk, a skin as white as grade A milk.
Well. Fancy meeting you two in the park.
I wonder if Shakespeare had to go through what I have to go through.
Good evening, Horace.
Well, go on with your conversation, Gildy. Don't let me interrupt you.
Oh, what's the use? If you'll excuse me, Amelia, I'll run along home now.
Oh, but Throckmorton, I wanted to hear the rest of the, you know.
I know. I'm going to lock myself in my room and telephone it to you. Goodbye. Never felt better, my dear.
Why are you making those painful noises?
I'm practicing some singing exercises. Don't tell anybody, but tonight I'm going to serenade Honeybun. Miss Hooker.
Oh, you've certainly been in there pitching the woo, Uncle.
Pitching the what?
The woo, stringing a line, making with a heartthrob.
If you're referring to my tender passion for Miss Hooker, Marjorie, yes. I've been giving Cupid the jive.
How's everything going?
Not so well. Last night I hit a snag.
You did?
Uh-huh. The snag's name was Judge Hooker.
You didn't actually hit him, did you, Uncle Mort?
If I didn't, then why is my mandolin all caved in? I smacked him right in the middle of his veranda.
But why, Uncle Mort?
Well, he made a big fuss just because I was strumming a few tunes to Amelia. Not that it was very late at night. Couldn't have been much later than 3. And he came barging out of the house in his nightgown, demanding that I hand over my mandolin. He kept yelling, "Give it to me! Give it to me!" So I finally did.
You shouldn't have done that, Uncle.
I know it. Now he's refused to let me visit his sister. Reminds you of Romeo and Juliet, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. But if the judge has forbidden you to see Amelia, how are you going to serenade her?
Well, tonight's his lodge night. He belongs to the Summerfield's Nest of the International Order of Hoot Owls. In fact, he's the Grand Screech. So he should be gone by 8 o'clock.
Well, have you phoned to see if Amelia will be home tonight?
No, every time I call up, Hooker answers the phone. I'm going to try it again right now. Maybe he's gone out somewhere.
Suppose he hasn't.
Oh, I've got a scheme. I'll disguise my voice so he won't recognize me.
Hello?
Hello. What number is it, please?
Judge Hooker's residence.
Oh, Georgia Hooky President, huh?
No, this is Judge Horace Hooker.
Oh, you Hooker Horsey, huh? No good.
No. This is Judge Hooker. Now, who's this?
You George Hooky, see me, Sammy.
No. Who are you?
Oh, me know that long time.
What's your name and what do you want?
Me Lily, only Lily Henley.
No, thanks. We wash our own hands.
Oh, for corn's sake. I said very smelly.
What are you calling about?
Missy Hooky, she home, huh?
No, she isn't. Is there any message I can take?
No, Judge, just skip it.
Gildersleeve!
Now what are you going to do, Uncle Mort?
I don't give up very easily, Marjorie. Remember, love laughs at locksmiths and jeers at jugheads like the judge. I'm going to send Amelia a box of candy with a message inside. I read that someplace. That should do the trick. Hey, Bertie!
Was you calling me, Mr. Gilsleeve?
Yes, Bertie. Are you finished with the dishes yet?
I've done the dunking, but the wiping is waiting.
I want you to take a package over to Miss Amelia for me. Smuggle it in so her brother doesn't find it, see? How do you think you can act as Cupid's messenger in this case?
Oh, certainly, Mr. Gilsleeve. I'm the cupidest messenger in town.
Hey, Judge, hurry. We'll be late to the meeting.
I'm coming, Ralph. After all, it can't start until the Grand Screech arrives.
No, but if you're late, they're liable to elect a new one before you get there.
Oh, they couldn't do that.
Oh, no. If I remember correctly, that's how you were elected.
Yeah, but the first thing I did was to change that rule.
Yeah, well, hop in.
Wait a second. Someone's coming to the house, I think. Oh, hello, Bertie.
Oh, hello, Judge.
What have you got there? Something for me?
No, sir.
Then it must be from Miss Amelia.
Yeah, that's it. It's for Miss Amelia.
Fine. Just give it to me, and I'll take it into her.
But I've had strict instructions to put it right in her own
Well,
hands.
she's upstairs, and there's no use making her come down to answer the door. I'll take it.
I don't know whether that's right for me to do it.
Well, just give me one reason why not.
Okay, I'll give you a reason, but I have to go home to get it.
Fine. Now, just a second. There's no use you lugging that package all the way home and then back here again. Just leave it with me until you come back.
All right, so here it is.
Thanks, Bertie. I'll take good care of it.
That's mighty considerate of you, Judge.
Hey, what's the idea?
That's Gildersleeve's cook. I've forbidden him to see my sister, and dollars to donuts, this package is something he sent her.
What are you doing?
Foiling Big Gildersleeve. Well. Chocolates. Have some, Ralph.
Hey. Oh, look, a note.
Let me see. Listen to this. Dearest darling Moonflower, I've phoned and called to see you all day long. But in vain. And who has so cruelly kept us apart? Your brother, the little tinker. Something's wrong with the S on his typewriter. I'll fool him. Tonight, when old Sourpuss is playing Hoot Owl, I'll glide beneath your window and let the golden notes of song pour out of my throat. Your fluffums wuffums.
Say, Judge, what are you going to do?
First, we're going to finish eating this candy. Then I'm going to get Amelia out of the house on some pretext or other. Then you and I are going upstairs and fill every pot, pitcher, and bucket in the house with water.
Why?
Well, when Fluffums Wuffums pours the golden notes of song out of his throat, we're going to pour the water out of the window.
If, for goodness sakes, quiet, you musicians. This is supposed to be a serenade, not a stampede.
Yeah, quiet, fellas.
Yeah. Now, you boys hide in the bushes while I tiptoe up in the porch. You get it? And I'll let you know when I'm ready.
Okay, Mr. Gildersleeve. Come on, boys.
Now, take it easy and be quiet, boys. Ah, Amelia, light of my life, list to my song of love. Oh, just a little love, a little kiss. Just an hour that holds a world of bliss. Eyes that tremble like the stars above me. And the little word that says, you love me. What in the name of Jupiter Pluvius is the big idea?
It's me, Gildy. I hope you're dripping wet, you great big drip.
Is that so? Well, you never touched me. I was here in the porch swing all the time.
Yeah, but you got the whole band. We're all doused.
Well, it serves you fellas right for making all that noise.
Oh, by the way, Hooker, that's the policeman's band.
What?
Fix yourself up pretty, Judge. You're about to have visitors.
I don't care. At least my sister never got to hear you.
Oh, no? Who do you think this is sitting in the porch swing with me? Rudy Valley? Ladies and gentlemen, this has been our last broadcast before our summer vacation. Before we go, I'd like to express my sincere appreciation to the Kraft Cheese Company for a most pleasant year. Also, my deep thanks to our writer, Leonard Levinson, and to the members of the cast for their able assistance. Walter Tetley, who plays Leroy, my nephew, Lorene Tuttle, my niece, Marjorie, Lillian Randolph, who's Bertie, Earl Ross as Judge Hooker, Paula Winslow as Dottie Dobson, and William Randolph Mills, our musical director, and Cecil Underwood, our producer. I am proud to announce that during the 8 weeks we'll be off the air, the United States government will take over our half hour to bring you the Victory Parade. Each of the top NBC shows is contributing one program to this series, so be sure to listen in. I hope you all have a pleasant summer, and now, good night.
going on, peeps? What's up, peeps? Buenos dedos. Huh? You got nice fingers? Yeah. And toes. Dedos de mi pie. Ay. No, it's not Spanish Day. One of these days we'll do the whole show in Spanish. My horrible, broken Spanish. Alright, I'm here. I didn't say that I was awake. I didn't say that I was ready for this, but I'm here. And yeah. Oh, jeez, Louise and wheezing with Jeezers. My regular has been sleeping lately. And I've been here all alone. All alone. Which is fine, because, hey, no expectations. No demands. Once again, the quote for the week is, "Don't hitch your horse to a broken wagon." Or, "Don't hitch your wagon to a dead horse." There you go. There you go. There it is. Throwback Thursday today. I got the old Thursday box sitting there behind me. Yeah. I don't know what we're going to do today. On the schedule it says arts and crafts and 8-track tapes. So I've got my box of 8 traps here. 8 tracks. And some stuff in the old box of Rooney there. Yeah. I've been run ragged lately. Yesterday I had to pull double duty and take my daughter to school and drop her off. And then go back down and pick her up. Because her ride's class got canceled. So there you go. So she spent the whole day down there by herself, didn't get much done. She's getting kind of, it's the end of the semester, so she's got frustrations with school. Good morning, Joey. Just sitting here discussing my daughter's trials and tribulations at the university. She's so frustrated right now because it's the end of the semester and she's got a lot of stuff to do and tests to study for and projects to finish. And last night she didn't get anything done because she was just so frazzled. So I'm like, you know what? Take a gummy, take a shower, take a break, take a nap. Get at it tomorrow, you know. She's got class today, which means I'll be taking off, at about 9:15. I'm sorry. I'll be taking off at about noon today. That was yesterday. Taking off at about noon to take her to her class and her lab. It's about a 3-hour stay down there. It takes up most of the day. We leave at noon. We get back at about 6. So there you go. What's going on, Joey? I am pretty wiped out. And then her friend can't make it to the concert on Tuesday. So it looks like I'm going to a concert on Tuesday. As much as I don't want to. My daughter wants to go to a show. So my daughter's going to a show. I said, I have another friend that would want to go with you? And she said, no, she's working. And my daughter, of course, doesn't have a job because we refuse to allow her to work at this point. It's got to be all about school. I mean, she can't really split her, her world. She's got to stay focused on one thing. If she had to work too, she'd never get school done. No, she'd probably, like I did, I'd just, quit school and keep working. You have to work. Once you start working, you have to work. Period. So I don't want her to get started until she's ready. And I hope it's as little as possible. I hope she starts working and works as little as possible through her entire fucking life. And finds some job to do that requires very little of her. So that she can enjoy life, you know. I had to be a slave for decades. And I finally just hung up my slave hat. I just took off the yoke and said, fuck it. Fuck it. I'd rather be dirt poor and, you know, live in squalor and spend time with my family than be a slave and never see them. Yeah, totally. I went and I got some more pot, some of this tropical trance, I think it is. Good stuff. Good stuff. And I always try to keep some gummies around here to go to sleep with, and for my daughter so she can de-stress, you know. So there you go. There you go. Yeah, Tuesday going to see. Where are we going? We're going to a club in L.A. I'm not sure which club. And we're going to see, don't help me, Mayday Parade. Last night my daughter tells me on the way home, so it looks like we're going to be going. I'm like, you and me? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, you need to call the place and find out about seating. You need to find me a chair. You need to find this old guy a place to sit so you can go, you know, headbang with your rowdy cohorts, whatever. But I'm gonna need a place to sit. It's gonna be a long day. I'm debating on whether or not I want to do a morning show that day. I would probably want to sleep until it's time to take her to school. And then we go to school. And then after class, we leave right from school and go straight to L.A. That's the way she's got it worked out. So, yeah. It looks like, at the very least, I'll be taking a nap while I'm there, waiting for her to do her class. I'll grab some food, go to the park, make a bed in the back of the car, and lay down and sleep as much as I can sleep with the engine starting up and stopping and starting up and stopping to keep the air conditioner going. That's the only thing that wakes me up. I could sleep perfectly in that car, but every few minutes the engine starts up, rumbles the car, starts up, and then when it stops it rumbles the car again. And that shit wakes me up. So, Tuesday's going to be interesting, to say the least. If I can get my teeth, my dentures fixed, so that I can wear them, that would be nice. Otherwise, I don't give a shit. I mean, if it's, you know, looking good versus, you know, all that fucking pain that it's in, then I'll not wear them. Yeah. I mean, I might wear them for a little bit, get there and put them on and take them and wear them while I'm in there and then take them off when we get out. Maybe. That's a lot of pain. So, we'll see. We'll see. I really tried to get out of going. Mainly because I'm a dud. I would prefer my daughter go with one of her friends, one of her contemporaries, one of her peers, and have fun. Have somebody to talk to about the show, and, you know, I'm pretty much boring, you know. I'm just not physically able to enjoy it anymore. That's pretty much it. I enjoy the music. I enjoy the whole going out and all the stuff involved. But halfway through the evening, I'm physically drained. And now that I've stopped eating, you know, 2/3 of what I normally eat, I got no energy. I'm like low energy. Which is why I passed out at the last concert. You know, heavy stuff. Oh well, enough about my difficulties living. I'm going to drink some coffee because that helps. So you made it here this morning, Joey. What was up the other days? You just came home and went right to sleep? Because I hear you. There have been mornings here when I don't even want to wake up. Like this morning. Snooze. Oh, and then hit snooze again, and I'm like, oh, I first hit the alarm and hit the snooze button. And then I hit the snooze button again. And then at 4:20, the snooze button hits for the second time. And that's when I get up. So I get up at 4:20 in the morning. Yeah, it's appropriate for me. I get up at 4:20. Normal stoners would get up at 4, and then at 4:20 be sitting here doing bong hit. But, you know, I can forego that. So I get up at 4:20, and then I'm in here, and I flip on the computers, my monitor, my 3 cameras. Yes, 3 cameras. 1, 2, and 3. And back to 1. And then I start up my pre-show stuff on one computer and go live from the other computer. And then I turn my phone on. Just passed out as soon as, I bet. Yeah, totally. Which is what you should do. I mean, if you're that, then go for it. You need to just go. Totally, man. Yesterday, I dropped my daughter off at school, went and got some beans, ate my beans, hung out, watched some TV, picked my daughter up after her 1 hour and 15-minute class, took her down, got her a sandwich, took her back to school. She took herself and her things back into school, went into her lunch spot study area, and stayed there the rest of the day. And then I came straight home. Well, I picked up some pot first. And actually, I had a piece of a donut and some milk and went right to bed. Crawled right into bed yesterday when I got home. And slept for about 2.5, 3 hours. My alarm woke me up. I got up. I had some water and a bong hit. And then I was out the door going to get her. I had to go. Actually, it was then when I went to go get her that I stopped and got the pot, actually. Because I had time then. So I drove down and got the pot. Then went down and waited for her. We actually had to go by Walmart last night because I needed some protein shakes. And that's the only place I can get them. So I hate to go by Walmart at this point. I hate giving Walmart any of my money. I think I'm going to ask Stater Brothers to get things that I normally get at Walmart. And what I can't get from there, I'm just going to order. I'm just going to get online and go to the company and order the shit, and get cases of those protein shakes delivered here, so I don't have to go back to Walmart. There are things about Walmart that I love, but their politics I do not, so that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Going in. Still using the graphics bong here. The classic 1980s graphics bong. Mainly because the other one's bowl is still broken. I could have stopped by last night. Or at some point. But I just haven't had time to stop by the old smoke shop Reno and get a new glass bowl for my glass bong. That's a bummer. It is. Because I really like that one. It's got some good filtration action. All right, people. Today is Thursday, Throwback Thursday. That could mean anything at this point. The album for the day is Led Zeppelin, Presence. Led Zeppelin, it's the second to the last album by Led Zeppelin. This is 1976. The next album to be released after this will be their last album, and it will be released posthumously after the death of their drummer. Can anybody tell me the name of their drummer? Anybody? All right. He went by the nickname Bonzo, I believe. And his name, I have to let it go a few more seconds so that people have time to type in a comment. So, the name of their drummer who passed away, just like The Who, and their drummer passed away. And there were a few bands back then where all of a sudden they were without one of their main driving sounds. And when John Bonham passed away, there was no point in going on. None at all. I mean, sure, they could have gotten somebody like Kazi Powell. All right, Kazi Powell might have fit the bill, but it no longer would have been Led Zeppelin. No. I mean, Led Zeppelin was, what, less than a 10-year band, right? And they put their mark on rock and roll like nobody else. Nobody else. It's one of my... This one is one of my favorite albums in that it just has so many great tunes that are like beyond what the normal Led Zeppelin stuff we're used to. Let me grab the slide in here. And we got side 1, Achilles' Last Stand, For Your Life, and Royal Orleans. Side 2, Nobody's Fault But Mine. Oh, Candy Store Rock. Hot's On for Nowhere, T for One. So Nobody's Fault for Mine. Nobody's Fault But Mine. That has got to be one of my favorite Led Zeppelin songs. You like this album, huh, Joey? Yeah, it's an ass kicker. It's a great fucking record. I am going to go right now, and I am going to bring up my web page here and stuff, and throw a link to this into the mix here, because it's fucking classic. It's fucking classic. The album after this, Coda, is possibly my favorite Led Zeppelin album, just because of the John Bonham drum work. It's just so fucking there's this one on there, something Montreux, and it's just an instrumental drum song, and it is just fucking classic. It makes you want to hear more just John Bonham. Led Zeppelin, you need to release John Bonham drum work. One CD, one album, just filled with John Bonham on the drums, and maybe a little bit of accompaniment, right? But mainly just John Bonham on drums. Now that would be fucking awesome. It's coming now to where we're like 50-year anniversary of his death, right? It would be beautiful if they would just release an album called John Bonham, and just have archived, selected. I know they have tracks of John Bonham's in the fucking studio, just fucking banging it out, right? Bring us that. I get goosebumps thinking about that, okay? That I would buy in a heartbeat. John Bonham on the drums, just banging it out, man. Just fucking banging it out. It doesn't have to have any songs. It doesn't have to have any sense. It just has to be him, naturally. They could call it naturally John Bonham, right? And just have him doing his thing. A little bit of his voice, talking. They do that shit all the time with the Beatles. The Beatles have released so much fucking after, the fact. They have released so much stuff that is, I'm listening to Sirius Radio all the time, and they get halfway through a song, and it's like, wait a second, stop. Let's go back and let's do this again. And I'm like, what? We need to hear some of that from Led Zeppelin. We need to hear just Bonham on his own. It's fucking been long enough, all right? I'll stop beating a dead horse, because nobody of any consequence is going to hear this and take it seriously. Somebody needs to get the word to one of these three guys that are left there and say, hey, you have him recorded. You have, hundreds of hours of John Bonham on tape. Release it. Release an hour of it. That's all you got to do. Dig through it. Have somebody go through and curate an hour of John Bonham. Right? I would prefer to buy that than to go see Jason Bonham. Truth. Yeah. All right. Where were we? We were going to say Led Zeppelin. Presence. Full album. There it is, by Dale Gribble. Dale Gribble has got the full album here. Let me copy that link. Well, thank you, Dale Gribble. So, I am just going to share this directly to this morning's show. So you have to watch the show to get the tidbits, the Easter eggs. The Easter eggs. I hate that shit. Okay. Yeah. Alright, there we go. So we get to paste and to inject. And then, where are we going to go? We're going to go presents. Zeppelin. '76. Oh, I see. I forgot the R. There you go. Full album. Why are we whispering? Because we can whisper if we want to? Oh, shit. I'm sorry. If that was coming through your ears. I'm really sorry. I'm a bad boy. Bad boy, bad boy. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come on you? Bad boy. Oh, wait. So let's see. Thursday, it's Throwback Thursday. We got arts and crafts. We got this and that. We got me going blah, 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 blah. I can't help myself. Yeah. And we might actually have some people coming to stop by and see what's going on the show. And at this point, I'm going to start doing something that I've never done before. and I am going to urge people to share. And share with the idea of getting people to subscribe. You don't have to watch the show. You don't have to even enjoy my company. But what I would really like is to get my subscriber count up so that I can have that marathon, that telethon that I want to do. And now that I'm set up a little differently in here, I think it's going to be easier for me to do a long telethon deal. Summer is coming up, and it's the perfect time for me to be here and be on camera 24/7. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. So what I want to do is get my subscriber count up to, I think, I was shooting for 500, but I think what I'm going to do is shoot for halfway and go for 250. I need to get another like 55 subscribers. And then from there, I am going to do a live telethon where anything goes. I'm going to have my studio and my living room cameraed and mic'd. And I'm going to go 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, and go as long as I think I can keep it up. And barring any technical difficulties, any streaming snags, it should just be one constant 24-hour stream saved and another 24-hour stream started. So it's going to work like that. I tried this before and I was on a few hours, and I decided not to go and do the whole long, mainly because I didn't have the time. I didn't have the time to start it and then just stay on without having to leave and go do something and that kind of shit. So my goal is to get to 250 and then pick a day to start over the summer where I know I can go for at least 3 days without having to leave and do anything significantly, and nothing more than having to go into the kitchen or into the bathroom or to lay down here in the living room and sleep. And then what I'll probably do is put a camera on something in here with a photograph of me. And what I might do is do a picture-in-picture. So do a long shot of my office like this, and then do a picture-in-picture of me sleeping. So you see a little piece of, me passed out. And then just have a camera pointed down at me while I'm sleeping. So, yeah. Why? Because I haven't done it, and I like to keep doing things that are different and fresh, to keep me motivated. It's not to make everybody else go, wow, look what he's doing now, because I could give a shit. It's mainly to keep me busy, to keep me thinking about other shit other than my own horrible life. My personal life, family, my wife and daughter, it's awesome. Personally, with my physical being, that's where it sucks. I hate being me. I hate being old. I hate being sick and dying and in horrible pain all the time. But it is what it is. So when I do this kind of stuff, it really helps take my attention away from me. And while I do spend a lot of time here talking about my stuff, that also helps. It helps me to get shit out of my head so that I'm not spending the day thinking about the shit in my head. I get it out in the morning, it's done, I move on, I think about other shit. I think about, okay, what can I get ready to talk about tomorrow? What can I do for my channel to get further down the road in programming? Yeah, well, it's 5:30 here in the AM. It is May 1st. It's May Day. May Day, May Day, May Day. The Ides of May. Shut up. That's not a thing. Yeah, so May Day Parade. If I was like, why ain't you seeing them on the 1st? Well, they're probably not here on the 1st. They're probably playing their hometown, right, on May Day. Whatever. So that should be neat. Yeah, I have never heard anything by May Day Parade, which is always great when I'm going to a concert to not have heard any of the music, right? Because then it's even more of a surprise, right? Like when we went to El Cid to see a group of bands there that Pete Wentz was promoting. Got to meet Pete again and hang out and get autographs, and got to see Vienna, Vienna, and fell in love with Vienna, Vienna and the music, and it's just great, great fucking music, right? And I heard nothing of it before we got there, so it was like it was a shock and a surprise, and yeah. So I look forward to that type of stuff. I've been to concerts knowing full well what to expect, and it's nice now, older. Okay, so they played at the festival that you and my daughter went to in Vegas. That's cool. Yeah, I did not know that. I probably knew it back then, but I don't remember shit like normal people do. I remember it compartmentalized. Yeah, he's mentalized, all right. I'm going in. I really like this tropical trance. The half ounces look like 3/4 of an ounce. The buds are all giant and dense and just heavy and just covered in red hairs. And if you're a pot connoisseur like I am, it's like heaven. It really is. I mean, the taste, the smell, the texture, the taste when it burns, it's all just, it's a beautiful experience. It's killing me, but I love it. I'm sure aliens are looking at us going, why did they do that? Aliens from other worlds are like, don't humans know that if they don't ingest all of this garbage, they can live forever? But it's this garbage that puts a cap on them. Don't they know that? I never wanted to eat it all. I would just wanted to absorb pure energy out of the air. That's what I want. Yeah. Energy man. And then eventually would it become like a critical mass, and then I would just become pure energy? I don't have that. So then would that be kind of a death? Or a release? Or some kind of metamorphosis into something with a greater mortality? I don't know. If you are pure energy, do you now become immortal? Oh, don't fucking know. Yeah. Well, let's see what's in the old box here. The old boxaroonie. Oh, I gotta heat that up. I can't stand cold coffee. It's either heat it up or put some frickin' ice in it. One way or the other. Yeah. Oh, Joey, man, I really wish you lived closer, man. I mean, if you lived closer, even in Arizona, you'd be my daughter's new concert buddy, really. Because she She needs somebody who can go to a concert with at any time, And usually that's me, She's like, can I go to a concert? And I'm like, you can go to any concert you want. She says, yeah, but I don't have a ride. You're going to have to be my ride this time, which happens most of the time, And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever, Ain't no thing. I'm easy to say yes to her. And that's because she's my daughter, and she works so hard at making it all happen in her own life that she deserves these rewards that she gives to herself. And if I can assist her in her giving herself those awards, those rewards, then yeah, I'll suffer. I don't give a shit. She's gonna have to find. I told my wife, she's gonna have to find a new concert buddy. I'm just getting so physically worn out. I mean, it's like we may have to start getting a room. Drive to L.A., check in, take a nap, go to the show, come back to the room with some food, and go to sleep and come home the next day. It's literally getting that hard for me to... I mean, just only a couple of years ago, driving out to Hollywood, spending the whole day out there and the whole night, and then turning around and coming back at 2 or 3 in the morning, not a problem. And then only a couple of short years later, I am just blah. So worked, All of her friends have cars and drive and also have jobs. So none of them can just say yes to a concert. They have to literally get down to the wire and then say, I got to work that week, or yeah, I got the week off, or whatever. Or that night, So, yeah. Totally. And then I also wish that I had my van. If I could just take my van with me to L.A. The only bummer about that is parking. A lot of the parking are in parking structures. And the height, I can't squeeze my van under those things. So, I remember she wanted to see Fall Out Boy back in February, but they were playing in Arizona, right? You almost bought plane tickets to take her, but for some reason the tickets were really... Dude, they're always expensive. Oh, see, that's because you didn't... If you ever want to get concert tickets, before they go on sale, you have to get with my daughter. She's the concert ticket guru. She probably could have gotten tickets to that concert at 2 tickets for $500. Right? Which is where she's at about now. With some of the major... She used to spend $1,000 to get a ticket, or 2 tickets, or 3 tickets, or something, right? And now she knows how to work the system. She works Ticketmaster and the different ticket places. She knows how to get in the queues and get in them ahead of time and get on the lists and all of that shit. Yeah, it's tough. But she does that shit. She spends $1,000 on tickets. If it's a concert that she knows she wants to go to, oh, you're talking about the plane ticket. Oh. Yeah, I can't help you there. Yeah, plane tickets suck. Yeah, okay, good. The concert tickets were cheap. But good. Then I was talking about nothing. Plane tickets. Yeah, it's always like, I got to get plane tickets months ahead of time or it's really expensive. And I never understood that. There should be, and from what I understand, there are ways to get cheap plane tickets right on the day that you want them. But you got to take, it's like, all right, you can get there, but you got to go here, you got to go there to get there, right? So some people are like, but the tickets are cheap because they want to fill that plane, and they have seats left. right? And it's just a matter of going, okay, I'm going to go down to the airport on this day, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to tell these people I want a ticket here, and they're going to put me on a flight, and it's going to be cheap, right? Otherwise, yeah, when you try to make a reservation at the last minute, oh, it's so fucking expensive. Yeah, it's random. It's all random, man. Random. Random, dude. I like that word, random. Random. That would make a good name for a kid. Yo, Random, come here. Huh? When I was young and living in Sierra Madre Canyon, about 1972 to 1974, we had these neighbor kids, Gilly, Galt, and Ransom. Seriously, Gilly, Galt, and Ransom. Or was it Gilly, Galt, and Ransom? I don't know. But I remember those names. Yeah, see, I guess if you have to go, $400 for a seat isn't bad. But sometimes you gotta go to another airport first, and that can be a drag if you're not into that. But you know, people who are into traveling, and it's like they get into an airport and it's like they're, you know, they feel like at home. You know, I have never been flying. I've never been hanging out in airports other than to pick somebody up or drop somebody off. But I'm the kind of guy that would probably get into having my little travel bag with my layover stuff. You know, all right, I'm going to put on my headphones and I'm going to do my game and I'm going to put on my hoodie so it comes down over everything and I'm going to be in my own little world. You know, that's probably how I would be in traveling, is I would want to have my own little gadgets and gizmos and my own little comforts and things, so that no matter where I am, I can set up my own little world. Like when my daughter goes to school, she's got her own little special places in the building where she can go and set up her little area, you know, her little station. Oh, you live close to the airport. Well, that's great because you don't even have to drive, right? If you're close, you can just get a ride or get a taxi or something, and that way you don't have to leave your car at the frickin' airport, because that can be a bummer. Another reason I wouldn't want to take my van is because of the big giant windows on the side. 10 or 15 minutes. Well, that's a good cab ride. Uber, whatever. Totally. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, sugar honey, darling. Oh. All right, enough of that. Today is Thursday. Today is Thursday. And I am going to look to see what's happening Thursday morning on the TV guide that we are currently checking out. Today's day in this TV guide is Thursday, May 6th, 1976. It is the bicentennial, and we're creeping up on good old 4th of July in 1976. Hollywood Squares at 10:30. John Davidson, Phyllis Diller, Lisa Gerritsen, George Goebel, Bernadette Peters, Tony Randall, and Wayne Rogers. I love that show. There's always just so many great guests on the show. And then, of course, at noon, reruns of Mary Hartman, and Little Rascals. The gang goes off the track when they take a train ride. I don't remember that one. A reunion with former gang kids. Huh. Ha! Oh, let's see here. Let's go ahead and move this TV guide into view so y'all can check it out. Now, this is from Central California, this edition, and it's got George Kennedy, Blue Night, on the cover, one of the TV shows. I think it was on last night. Let's see. Robert Young, Family Doctor drama. Jeez, Robert Young. Well, what a drain. What a buzzkill. Robert Young was just kind of bland. Adam 12, Channel 23. Adam 12. Far out. Ooh, look at a Pall Mall cigarette ad. where they don't have happy smoking people, right? Pall Mall extra mild. Yeah. Tomorrow, oh, you know what? Yeah, tomorrow we're going to take a look at a cigar box that I have with a bunch of stuff in it. And I think I've got a pack of Pall Malls in there. Totally. So look at these 10 super great iron-on transfers for only $1. Look at those, all those funny animals and stuff. Isn't that great? Isn't that cool? For only $1? Oh, man. Law and Order, a 3-hour blockbuster from 8 to 11. The best-selling, hard-hitting book about 3 generations of cops. Darren McGavin, Susan Plachette, Keir Dulier, Will Geer, and Robert Reed. Will Geer. Now that reminds me of a mini-series that I saw back in the 80s, I think. And it was about a family. And the family... Where am I? Hey, there I am. And the family were serial killers. And there was a family of serial killers and a family of cops. And the family of serial killers kept outwitting the cops and bumping the cops off and getting away with shit until finally, of course, in the last episode, one of the cops, now in present day, and it was like a 100-year thing, finally figured it out. All right, so we got prime time on Thursday, and it is Thursday, May 6, 1976 at 8 o'clock. Welcome Back, Kotter. There you go. Repeat. Law and Order, that movie. Waltons. Repeat. A película, which means movie in Espanol. Henry Vernal. Se soltaron los leones. Se soltaron los leones. Something, the lions. Fireball Forward. Combat footage from Patton, 1972. Yeah. Ben Gazzara, Eddie Albert, Ricardo Montalban. Never heard of it. 8:30, Barney Miller. And Behind the Lines. At 9 o'clock, The Streets of San Francisco with Carl Malden, Michael Douglas. Ew. Auto Tests, 1976. And it's just a test driving new cars. Hawaii Five-0 with guest Helen Hayes. Helen Hayes. And there is a Bare and Beautiful bra ad there for all of you bra aficionados for only $5.99, right? Actually, at $5.99. At 10 o'clock, Harry-O. Harry-O is a David Jansen TV show. Look at Adam Arkin guests in there. Adam Arkin. If you ever watched that show from the 90s, Northern Exposure, Adam Arkin played that barefoot, know-it-all, crazy guy that lived out in the woods and used to bug the shit out of the doctor. Let's see. Tribal Eye documentary. Tribal societies around the world are subjects as the 7-part series begins. Repeats with a visit to the Halda and Kuwaiti Indians of British Columbia. Quackute. I can't pronounce that. I apologize for fucking it up. Let's see, also at 10, Barnaby Jones. That's a good show. Larry Hagman is the guest. And Tommy Lee Jones is a guest as well. I remember that episode. Tommy Lee Jones is an explosive guy and gets into trouble. And what is it? Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones. And so Barnaby Jones has to get him out of out of the trouble. And we also have Love American Style, another favorite show of mine. At 10:30, Dick Van Dyke. At 11, a bunch of news. And Yancey Derringer Adventure. Psh, I have no clue. 11:30, Mannix. Mike Connors is Mannix. Johnny Carson with David Brenner. David Brenner, he was a weird comedian. Just kind of a weird guy. Harry Reasoner, ABC News. Another weird guy. Generation. Another David Jansen movie. Mary Hartman. This is its time slot. It's a late night serial. And then we get into late night stuff. Tom Snyder, TV weather forecasters are the scheduled subject. Tomorrow with Tom Snyder. In the back of this thing here, while we're here, we have 8 tracks. This is a great Columbia House 8-track deal. Any 11 records or tapes for $186. And I always love to look at all of these, the ends of these 8-track tapes. I didn't have many 8-track tapes growing up. 8-track tapes were something that we had a few of because of the motorhome that we had in the 70s, the Sightseer 2. It had an 8-track deck built into the dashboard, and I remember having a few 8-track tapes in there. So without further ado, let's pull out the old 8-track tape box here. And let me spin it around, because I believe if we open it this way, you'll see it on the camera in the correct fashion, right? And I gotta move it out. There we go. Get it queued up there. And let's do that. So there is my Anison. Anybody want an Anison? So this is another 8-track case of tapes. And oh, this is a nice one. This is some mellow rock and roll. This stuff is mellow rock and roll. And good, I can just pull them out like that. This is Queen, Killers, live. And if we check this, it has a new splice and a new pad. So this one is ready to listen to. Queen, Killers. This is, in fact, everything in this box here, it looks like I've been through this and created this box. So this is all ready to listen to. Here is another Queen. Used to belong to Tina. And this is Queen, the self-titled. And yeah, it's got some old ones on there. All right, here's some of my favorite stuff. Here's ELO, Out of the Blue. All right, this one's done. This one's ready to listen to. It's got a good new pad on it. Looks like I've listened to it because the foil is not there in the window. Oh, this is a great one. ELO Olay. This is a good album here. It's a kind of a compilation of 5 albums, and it is ready to listen to. Let's see, another ELO. Oh, El Dorado. I love some of the orchestra stuff on this. It just goes on and on and on. It is just beautiful. Beautiful. All right, looks like we got a Deep Purple in here. Deep Purple Stormbringer. No, I did not pay $8 for that. And then we get into Firefall. Elon. These two on the end. Elon. That's Firefall. Elon. This has got some great Strange Way. Well, that's a strange way to tell me you love me, when your sorrow is all I can see. But if you just want to cry to somebody, don't cry to me. Don't cry to me. Luna Sea. That's a great one. Has this one got... What has this one got on it? Oh, yeah. This has got a few good ones on it. Just remember, I love you. That's a good one. Yep. That's awesome. That one is, all of these are all ready to listen to. They're great. I also have most of this on LP as well. So I have now I have 2 of these. This is Firefall, the self-titled album. I'm waiting for Firefall to come to town. I'm going to start badgering them about coming to Pioneer Town. And then I'm going to start badgering Pappy and Harriet to get them to come here. Because Prairie League is coming to town. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. I told the girls that I want to go. But it's going to be kind of up to them to fit into the schedule and the budget. So this is Undertow. This is another great one. Let's see, what do we got on here that I can recall? Love It Gone Away. Yeah, I'm bad with titles, so I don't recognize anything right off. This is a great one. This is a great one. This is all, they're all ready to listen to. I've all listened to all of these. And then, of course, Elon, the other copy of Elon here. And then we get into some more Deep Purple. We got Machine Head, Deep Purple. That's a great one. That's a freaking great one. And then we get into a few Billy Joels here. I've got a lot of Jelly Bowl here on LP. Stranger, this is one of my daughter's favorite ones. Vienna is one of her favorite songs. There's a lot of great stuff on these. 52nd Street, Billy Joel. That's a good one. These are all ready to listen to. Mainly because if they've got these 3 clips, these 3 little clips on them, right? These little windows here. That makes it so easy to open up. Another one that belonged to Tina. So thank you, Tina. And I'm taking care of them. They're still here. Oh, we got Eddie Money. Look at that. That's a great copy of Eddie Money. No, I did not pay $6 for it. But I tell you what, I'll sell it for $15 and no less. Get a little cleaned up, put a sleeve on it. And, ooh, look at that. Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. That's a great one. Great fucking album. The only problem is it probably switches tracks right in the middle of some great songs. Right in the middle of Time. Right in the middle of Money. Right in the middle of Us and Them. Right? Oh, that was the worst thing about 8 tracks, is right in the middle of a great song, it would go silent and go click and then come back. James Taylor. This is a great James Taylor album. Oh yeah, looks great. Another James Taylor. One Man Dog. Some of these I don't have on LP. Some of these I only have on 8-track. We have Supertramp, Crime of the Century. There we go. That one's a little dirty. That one needs a little cleaning. I bring these things home, I open them up, I make sure that they work and that I'm not cleaning up something that's just pointless. So I get that done first. This is one of my favorites, another James Taylor, Flag. And then here we go, Steve Miller. All right, this is a classic, Book of Dreams. Right, what do we got on here? Book of Dreams. Threshold, Jet Airliner. There you go. Swingtown, that's a good one. Switches tracks right in the middle of Swingtown. True Fine Love, Wish Upon a Star. Jungle Love, there you go. Oh, that's a great one. Yeah, that's a great one, baby. Steve Miller, another one. So basically, once I find out that they're good, then that's when I worry about cleaning them up and making them look good. There's another Supertramp. And then what I do is I just take them and I clean them up with a, sponge. Magic eraser sponge. So there you go. There is another case of, what is this? 24. Another case of 24. There you go. And this is a great old case. I've got about maybe 12 cases. And then stacks and stacks and shelves and drawers and just tons of 8-tracks everywhere. So, yeah, I'll be bringing you a lot more 8-tracks to come, because I got to do something with them. At some point, we're going to do on Arts and Crafts Day, we'll set it up here, and we'll actually open up some cartridges and do some repair, and we'll also bring over an 8-track player and open it up and do some repair and see if we can't get it to function properly, so that we actually have more listening capability. My daughter was just talking about getting a new micro stereo CD player for her room, and I'm thinking, well, she's already got this 1970s all original stereo that I set up for her with a turntable, 1979 Sanyo turntable, really nice one. I'm jealous. And I told her, well, instead of doing that and having 2 stereos, why don't we get you a CD component that jacks into the back of your stereo, and get a Bluetooth that jacks into your stereo, so that you can turn your stereo into a receiver for your music from Spotify. Right? We can do that. It's either that or buy her a brand new receiver like you and me, Joey. And since she's full retro right now and full vintage retro, I don't want to mess with it. I'd rather just add to that, right? I mean, I'd love to take a little 1980s CD driver component, a CD player, and add that to her system, right? It would have to be Radio Shack. Let me heat up my coffee real quick. It's 6 a.m. Wow, we got to get busy. Let me heat up this coffee. So let's do a bonus today. Since we're talking about old stereos, let's look at some old stereo stuff, because that'll be fun. So I've got my 1982 catalog here for Radio Shack. So let me do this and give you a look at my 1982 Radio Shack. I have this, the Lab 395 turntable. I have this turntable. I have this receiver, the 720. I have 5 of these cassette players, recorders. 5. One of them is rebuilt. One of them is a parts. And the other, and then I opened up another one just so that I could see how to put the one back together, right? Which is why I bought multiples, so that I could use one as a schematic and to have extra parts. So I actually have enough to rebuild this another one. So we might do that. We might actually do that on air at some point. But I got the 1982 catalog because 1982 was a year that I was kind of focused in on. I bought a calendar, a 1982 calendar, and it actually lined up with that year that I was in. So I used that calendar. So there you go. This right here is the laser disc video disc player. And this is the one that comes where the laser disc actually comes in a cartridge. And you have to stick the cartridge in and it releases, and you pull the cartridge out, and the disc stays in. And then when you're done with it, you stick the cartridge back in, and it slips back into that thing. I have a few of these. I'll have to dig up. Let me see. Actually, let me see if I can dig one up. I'll be right back. I found it. I found it. Here you go. Airplane 2, the sequel. And so this is a laser video disc that the CED, all right, the capacitance electronic disc system. Basically, it slides in, and this little thing here gets grabbed, and it activates, opens it up, and it slides the disc out that's on a tray. And that's how that works, right? And these things are giant. They're about as big as an album. And let me grab another one. Alright, I wanted to grab one that we're probably not going to talk about. So I grabbed this is a digital laser video disc. This is your standard digital video laser disc. CED, Joey says that the CED disc similar to the VHD. So this is the standard American disc, and it just looks like a record, and it's double-sided, and you can stick it in your machine and then flip it over to do side 2. All right, and it's basically a turntable. You stick it in the machine takes it in, and it plays it, spins it, and reads it. This is the same thing, but it's in its own hard case, and it never sees people. It never gets fingerprints on it. It's totally encapsulated. So that's that on the old video disc front there. I really would like to get the real video disc, the digital video disc player. That would be great. Let's see, stereo systems. Yeah, I don't have that system there. That is the STA, which stands for stereo. And then this is the STA 111. I have something similar to that. I have this one here, the STA 720. So I have one of those. What else do I have here? I'd really like to get one of these all-in-one systems. That would be really, really cool. Let's see, the STA 430. I think I have the STA 52B, which I don't believe is in this particular catalog. Right. STA 850, 2080. Now the 2080, that's getting up to where I would want to get one of these receivers. The bigger one with a lot of inputs. Okay, the 2300. This one's got a lot of inputs. And this is like, yeah, it's a badass freaking stereo. For its day, it was the bomb. And it was Radio Shack, so it was affordable. It wasn't a big giant, expensive model. Okay, so this one here, the SA, that is the receiver that my daughter currently has. And I also have the TM102 for that. That is the tuner, the FM tuner, AM/FM tuner. So that's my daughter's system, and let me give you a close-up of that. That would be this model here. silver model here. And that's the receiver that she has. Pretty basic, you know. Turns it on and hits the volume. That's it. She's rocking and rolling. No fancy bells and whistles there. There's the Lab 395. So I've got one of those. For sure. A lot of people in the groups that I hang out in, they like the 450. They like this 450. You know what? I'm not a fan of the wood grain models. I like the silver models. I have one of these, this 10-band equalizer. I do have one of those. There is, okay, here's a stereo tape control center. See this little thing here, and basically what it does is it allows you to bring in 3 more tape player recorders and link them through your system so that you can play and record onto, play from and record onto your tape, and from the receiver onto anything, and from any one of those tapes onto any one of the other tapes or any other thing on your system. So it's really cool. I've had one hooked up before, and it really made having an 8-track player, a reel-to-reel player, a cassette player, a CD player, and a turntable and all the stuff on one stereo chain. You have another VHD player. VHD only came out in Japan. And my daughter, yeah, she showed you her setup. It's very cool. And it sounds good, you know. It's got the great... So check this out. This is a musical instrument produced by Moog synthesizers for Radio Shack. A lot of companies did that for Radio Shack and Realistic, where they produced a version for Radio Shack that was affordable for the average consumer, right? So this had so much on it. It's still a highly sought after piece of musical equipment. Ask anybody about the MG1 or the Realistic MG1 synthesizer by Moog. They'll be like, yeah, that's a cool little dude, man. And you could literally just play it on your desktop, all right? You could put a strap on it and play it like a frickin' guitar, right? They were just so cool. And add it to other stuff. Add it to your keyboard, your organ, you know, your other synthesizer. Oh, see, now we're getting into speakers here. This is cool. This is cool. I would really like to get a set of these T200s or T100s, 110s, something like that. Something with a big 12-inch woofer on it. Let's see. This is the Mach 1, liquid-cooled Mach 1. Those are highly sought after, and there's still a lot of them out there. The Realistic Novas. I actually have some of these Novas. I have some Optimus, and I have some Novas. My daughter right now in her bedroom, I think she's using the Realistic MC 1201s, these here. I believe this is what she has in her bedroom right now. I've got some of these bookshelf speakers here, the little Minimus. I also have some of these bookshelf speakers here and here. I have one of these rollaway units here, and that's pretty cool. I actually have 3 or 4 of these all-in-one units. I have some with just a cassette player, turntable, AM/FM, and then the auxiliary. I also have 1 or 2 with all 4, the turntable, the AM/FM, the cassette, and the 8-track, and it has an auxiliary in. That is a bitchin' stereo. I would love to get that one fixed up and raffled off to somebody, you know, and not just the stereo, but the speakers that go with it, right? And do a package. Okay, look, we're going to raffle off or auction off or whatever. We're going to do a whole package deal, and I'll throw in cassettes and 8-tracks and LPs and 45s, right? And stuff to clean them, right? And say, okay, here's the deal. You know, let's do a telethon and get rid of one of these guys. You know, that'd be neat. These are more. I actually have one of these small kids one. I think it is from Mattel, actually. All right. And then, of course, they've got cassettes and LPs and 8-tracks and stuff you can buy. What I would really like to get is one of these old speaker lights. All right. And it's a 3-color party light. And basically, it's a speaker, where my thumb is, a speaker box that you plug into your speaker jack or piggyback off of your speaker, and it flashes lights to the music, right? And that was like pre-digital stuff. That was like entertainment, strobe lights. We've got some strobe lights here, a couple of strobe lights. We've got this disco ball thing, and some other lighting stuff, so you could set up your own little party. We've got the Radio Shack version of the AM/FM radio portable, and the cassette, similar to the Walkman. I used to have one of these micro cassette players. I was really into electronics and portable electronics when I was younger. Headphones, I've got a set of these Novas here. These Nova 40s, I believe. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. I do have some like extension cables for the headphones. You're gonna go to sleep, huh, dude? All right. Well, take it easy, brother. I am gonna continue poking around in this world here where I'm at, and think about hanging out tomorrow if you're not working tomorrow night. Or tonight or something, and you're available tomorrow, then let's hang out. Oh, and my daughter, she's going to be on summer vacation here next week. She's done next week, and she's going to be a guest Minecrafter. So we're going to have it set up so that we can do a phone conversation and get you in the game with her, and hang out, and that'll be fun. You have 3 microcassette players. They're so cool, aren't they? They're so cool. All right, well, have fun at work tonight, man. Have a good sleep. Take care of yourself, and I will see you soon, man. Peace. Yeah, this stuff is so much. These old electronics are so much fun. Let's see this 8-track player here, the Realistic TR-883. So I have 1 or 2 of these 8-track players there. Here we go. There's this one here, this 8-track player here. I know I have 3 of those, for sure and for certain. I got 3 of those, more micro cassette players. I have one of these little portable stereos. That is cool. I'm not sure if it's the same model, but it is Realistic. And then we got some of these all-in-one things with cassette players, 8-track players. And like I said, I have 5 of these dudes here. And they're really good. They're really cool. I would like to get one of these guys here. One of the better models. Just haven't found one. Just have not found one. I got a couple of boom boxes, but they're Sony. I think the stuff that I have is Sony. Which is cool. But I really like to have Radio Shack stuff. And stuff out of the catalog. Which makes it even more cool. Yeah, peace, brother. Going to the DMV tomorrow morning. Oh, I don't envy you. Yeah. Good luck, man. Good luck. So maybe we won't hook up tomorrow morning. But that's cool, brother. That's cool. That's cool. And I got a lot of these little gadgets and gizmos and stuff for gadgets and gizmos. These demagnetizer, head demagnetizer. I've got 1 or 2 of those. The cleaning tapes. Some of this other cleaning stuff, the cleaning cloths. I've got unopened packages of cleaning cloths, demagnetizer, 8-track tapes. Yeah. Oh, here we go. I've got boxes and boxes of these reel-to-reels. In fact, I've got a bunch right back here. So I opened one on top so I could take a look and see how much, what do I got to do to get something recorded onto here. So I opened up the biggest one, and it's brand new, brand spanking new. Oy. And I've got some other brand new tapes, but I've got like dozens of these realistic super tape ones. Yeah, most of what I own electronically is realistic. I do have 2 of the metal take-up reels, the 7-inch take-up reels. I have all of the different versions of the concert tape. I've got the super tape that we just looked at, and then I've got the realistic low noise, and then the concert tape. I also have them in the cassette, as well as the 8-track. I actually have 8-track realistic tapes. Here's the case that we were just looking at, the 8-track cases. I also have cassette cases, which is very cool. I have this here. This is a stereo disco mixer. So you can plug in a couple of turntables and a tape player and another auxiliary, and then you can mix them and, you know, put on a record and then fade it in while the old one's fading out, right? And then start another one. It's great. I used to use it when I was going live before I got my audio video mixer. That's what I used. I used 1982 microphones. I used a 1982 mixer. I had 1982 cameras set up, and I had that all piped through my computer. The stuff that I have now will only take HDMI stuff. So I kind of phased out this older stuff. Yeah, very cool. I also have this stackable carousel here, and this little stackable carousel, we'll take a look at that. That's for 8 tracks. All right, there's one for 8 tracks and one for cassettes. I have one for 8 tracks. It's very cool. I really do want to get the intercom system and put them in like one out in the laundry room and in the bedrooms and in here. And then we can just say, hey, what's going on, you know? I know we got texting and all that, but I like old school. I like the vintage stuff, the vintage feel. So this is kind of, I've got a bunch of these microphones. I really do. I like these big, fat, dual pattern stereo mics. Yeah, I've got just so many of these items. I have replacement speakers. Yeah, we get into the DJ stuff here. Needles, replacement needles, record cleaning stuff. Record cleaning stuff is something that I would definitely add to a package with a stereo in it. So there you go. There's my 1982 Radio Shack catalog that I bought specifically for 1982 because I've got so much of that crap, right? So let's see. I'm going to take a look real quick into the old box for the day, and let's see what we can... Let me show you some of the things I got so that I used to do beading. These Indian seed beads. These are for my daughter, these letters. She likes to make bracelets and give them to people. I used to do beading with these Indian seed beads, these glass seed beads. So we were at the store and everything was on sale. Joann's was closing their doors. So I went ahead and I picked up a few items so that I could see if I want to get back into beading, right? So there's that. I think we'll keep it light this morning. And since we've got about 20 minutes or so left, I am going to put together a couple of gliders because I don't have any needles for beading yet. And I need to make a little loom and some other stuff. And I don't feel like getting into anything, any big deal here. I do have to wake up my wife in about 20 minutes. So hopefully my alarm will remind me. If not, somebody tell me, go wake up your wife, dumbass. She's got to run out today and do a few things. And then get back so that my daughter and I can take off and get her to her class. And I am going to get this coffee super hot and then come back and build a couple of gliders. And then what I might do is, I know I said this before, is take them with me and go to the park and fly them. I guess it depends on what happens here. If I can get done here and eat and go lay down, then yeah, I may actually go to the park and play while waiting for my daughter. Otherwise, I'm probably going to go to the park and take a nap. Because that's pretty much naps in the middle of the day are my thing now. Low energy, no energy, so I take lots of naps. These things are great. We used to get these all the time from Stater Brothers. Stater Brothers, when I was a kid, they were the local supermarket where I was telling my wife and daughter on the way home the other day that for the majority of my life growing up, we shopped at Stater Brothers. It was the local supermarket in two of the towns that we lived in, mainly, right? And so we shopped at Stater Brothers, Southern California store. It's neat because all the stores were always laid out the same, looked the same on the inside. So you walked in and you felt at home, which was very cool. But the Stater Brothers, they used to always, I don't know if they do now, probably not as intricate, but they used to always have a toy section. And not only that, but they had, if you were in like a vacation town, they had a really good, like in Lake Elsinore, they had a really well-stocked aisle for summer stuff, right? Shoes and towels and toys and water toys and everything. But what was always neat is they always had that section where you could buy kites and gliders and things that you could build and enjoy without too much money and a whole lot of imagination, right? It was all about the imagination. You don't see a whole lot of that now. Nowadays, it's, the imagination is wrung out of you from birth. As soon as your parents hand you a screen, your imagination is totally being destroyed from then on. Our daughter did not get a screen until junior high. Well, actually, it was, yeah, and then she got a tablet. And then in high school, she got a phone. And that was her first, like, hey, world, I'm here, right? Of course, being a university student, having to go through college and all that, her phone is her life. They make you do everything on the phone nowadays, right? It's either on your phone or on your laptop, but you have to do everything in school revolves around the digital world, right? And that sucks, because I hate that shit. I was going to college 15 years ago out here, and there you still had a choice. You could get your books digitally or you could get a real book. Some classes now, they don't even offer the book in anything other than digital, right? Sometimes, and then there's a lot of classes where you can only take that class online. And that sucks, because my daughter's fine. She's like, yeah, I don't have to leave the house. I can just do stuff online, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, no, I can't. I got to go into a classroom. I got to have the back and forth. I'm just old. I'm just old school. That's the way my body works. It's the way the old mind ticks. Yep, I'm old. You guys want to build a glider? Let's build a glider. I wish I had some needles. I'd love to do some beading. I think the first thing that I'm going to do is make myself a daisy chain necklace. Hildy and Joe, the name brand. Why? Because I used to have a daisy chain necklace that I made when I was in my 20s. So maybe I'll make one for each of us, my daughter, my wife, and myself, and make us some daisy chain necklaces with a little pennant or something on it. Something that we can all three have, right? Something. We'll have to figure out what to put on them. I might actually do a choker for my daughter. Right? Let me check to see if I can find my beading book. And we'll take a look at that, and I can give you an example of what I'm talking about. Let me just put you to here right now and let you wait there. Okay, so I thought I had a book on beading. Maybe I do, and it's just in another place. I found macrame, I found knitting, knotting, crochet. I found all of the needlework and stuff, but I didn't find my beading book. And maybe I'm just beating a dead horse. But I thought I remember having a book on beading. I see in my head a diagram on how to stitch things with beads, and I don't see it. So let's see, what do we got here? These, like I said, these were great when I was young. We always had time and money for these cheap little toys. And there was always a place that we were going to be at for a while waiting for some reason, doing something. Usually waiting for drugs from my parents. So let's go here and let's do that. And we'll take this and we'll dump it out on the old thing. Oh, there we go. So there's 2 bags filled with the stuff here. So let's build one. Let's build one today, since there's more than one. And see what we got here in the old bag. Come on. Go ahead. Come on. There we go. Okay. A little suction there. And the instructions are on the back of the bag. So there we go. So basically they want you to take all of the components and make sure that they're all working. And then you've got the pieces that you have to break out. And there's always pieces that you have to break out. And basically I just start wiggling. I just start wiggling until stuff loosens up and breaks off. And then that's pretty much it. I try not to force anything, because if you force it, you break it. So there you go. There you go. There you have it. There it is. There's the back wing. There you go. Yeah, these didn't punch all the way through. They're die cutter. Their die has dull blades, or the blades, the cushions around the blades are too thick. I used to die cut when I was in plastics manufacturing. I used to do some die cutting. I never got to make any dies. I got to fix dies. But I never got to make any dies. But the dies were pretty basic. You take a metal blade, take a wood form, you take a metal blade, and you put the metal blades into the wood, and then you cushion around the metal blades with these little pads so that it only cuts so far down into whatever you're cutting. And yeah. And then you use a big die cutter machine, which is really fun. There you go. Thanks. Thanks, Dan, for allowing me to have the privilege of working in your plastics company and learning all of that stuff. That was really fun. Yeah, good days. Some of my favorite days were working in your shop. And I can't say that about a lot of places. So, thanks, dude. All right, that's pretty much it. You break all of this stuff out. You get your pieces. And then you take your fuselage here. And you want to do your wing. The F-15 Eagle glider. And then we just kind of inject this thing in here. And get it centered. Once you get it centered, then you can adjust the left and right and back and forth depending on how you want it to perform. We're going to slide a little forward and then straighten it up. There you go. That'll work. Good enough. And then get this back wing in here. And there you go. There you go. And let's see, let's take this back tail here. Get this tail in here. We better get it in the right way. And we got to put the dude, we got to have the dude, or doodad. Get this dude in here. And that's it. That's it. There's the glider. And, yeah. Farthest throw, accuracy, longest time aloft. So there's lots of different things you can do with this. You take it to a nice little grassy, hilly park and throw it around. And if you got two of them, then you and a buddy could race. You could aim at something, try to get it into a trash can, try to get it into the playground in between the swings or something, you know. Set up a little course, you know. All right, you got to fly it, and it's got to go around the handball pole, you know, and it's got to swing, and you got to land in front of the slide. If you land on the slide, it's double. Totally. Yeah. So there's my glider. There's my little glider. Now, we did put together, let me go grab this here. A couple of weeks ago on Arts and Crafts Day, we put together the actual, the one with a propeller. Now, I'm kind of bummed that it doesn't come with the wheels, because I remember they had landing gear. These things had a little split landing gear thing that clipped on here, and it had two little plastic wheels on it, right? And that was great. And I think that they just decided money-wise it was cheaper just to take the wheels off and just say, okay, wind it up and throw it, right? Because we used to wind that fucker up and set it on something and let that dude, and it would just, whoa, just take off, man. Just fucking take off, dude. So there you go. So I don't know, man, because if that's the deal, right, I used to make double fuselage planes with two propellers so that it would go further and faster and higher and everything. And that was pretty cool. That was fun. That was fun stuff there. And what's neat about these is that you can just take it apart and put it back in the box, and then take it to the park and pull it out and put it together and fly it, and then take it apart and put it back in the box. So that's pretty cool. That is pretty dang cool. I like that. I like that. Let's see. We did the TV guide. We did the Radio Shack deal, which was a surprise. I didn't expect to do that today. But that's cool. We'll do it again on Radio Shack Day. We'll take a look at the old Radio Shack catalog here. Let me put this in the drawer. And let's see. Tomorrow we are going to look at my cigarette box of memorabilia, and it's down in Friday's box. And Friday's box has a few other tidbits, as well as we're going to do Conspiracy Corner, and we're going to talk about missing people and what really happens to them. Do they really go missing? Are they hiding? Do they get abducted? What happens to missing people, and what happens to the feeding frenzy that causes it, right? Who and what are eating all of these people? Because they're gone. They just vanish. We got missing people that just completely disappear. And they can't all be buried with Jimmy Hoffa. So where are they? Who knows? Jimmy Hoffa might have just been abducted. He was out on a drive and thought, I'm just going to try to get away. And then all of a sudden, boom, bright lights. He's gone, Do they know who to take? Do they just take random people? Do they know that somebody is alone and can be taken away and nobody's ever going to know what happened? So we'll get into that and discuss missing people and conspiracy theories around them. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Well, that was fun. I like doing these little planes and stuff. Those are neat. I'm going to have to get some more of these little things. I was looking around at Joann's with the idea, what am I going to get here that will be good for Arts and Crafts Day, right? And the most I could come up with were these beads, mainly because I've done that before and I know beading. So I know various types of beading stitches, kind of where you can create different styles of stuff. I like the old 1920s beaded jewelry, the flapper bead stuff, flapper purses, flapper dresses, the beads, beaded hats, beaded purses, because the beadwork is just fucking crazy on that old shit. They still do it today, but I mean nowadays it's probably made by a fucking machine or a bunch of little Asian kids in a sweatshop somewhere. Or Mexican kids, or American kids. There's sweatshops. Parents have their own sweatshops now because parents are entrepreneurs and they have these little businesses in their home. And where do you get free labor? Family members. There's the alarm. Time to go wake up the wife. I will be right back. Don't nobody go nowhere. I'm going to turn this off. Well, I can't wait for Radio Shack Day because I've got a bunch of Radio Shack stuff, and it's probably going to be like multiple Radio Shack days. But yeah, I've got some cool Radio Shack surprises, so that's fun. Well, we got about 15 minutes left, and while my wife wakes up and the dogs start getting up and moseying around the house, I'm going to do a couple of more bong hits here and start thinking about some breakfast. I might just... Oh, there's my coffee. I might just heat up my coffee and have a little bit of donut, right? Yeah, I got some new coffee yesterday. We've been doing Pete's brand coffee. It's good. The flavors are different. If it gets too out of control, then I can tell the difference. But mostly I can't tell the difference between one and the other. This one was supposed to have spicy notes of this and that, and I was like, yeah, it smells good, but the taste, I don't know that I can taste it any differently than... Yeah, it's a little different. Nothing too crazy. I don't like anything too foo-foo-y or exotic, you know. I don't need any Sulawesi or, you know, stuff from Kilimanjaro or anything. Just regular Colombian coffee beans, you know. Roasted up right and flavorful. That's it. I like dark coffee. I like medium and dark roast. I like a bold coffee. I like to use a little bit of creamer, so bold is okay. It's not going to overpower because I can just, you know, dumb it down with a little creamer. So that's cool. Let's see. What is going on next week? Next week, things are going to be weird. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for... In fact, today I've got to do a video time machine. I've got to start work on a video time machine for Friday. So I'll be working on that in the next couple of days. It's Thursday, so tonight I'll be putting it together and uploading it. The very latest tomorrow, uploading it. But I should be able to, in about an hour, hour and a half. It's about as long as the episode. That's about as long as it takes me to put it together. If it was an hour-long episode, it takes me about an hour. Once I get all of the elements, sometimes I get right in the middle of an episode. I'm like, you know what? I need this. And then it'll take me a little time to find that. Sometimes I can't find it. And then I'll have to create a graphic or something for it and then interject that into it. It being the video time machine. So lately they've run about 90 minutes. I started the season off and they were going to run about an hour. And then I just thought, you know what, I want to put more into it. I want to actually put an episode of something into each episode. 90 minutes, I can put 20 or 30 minute episode of something into it and still have an hour to play with my cartoons and commercials and movie trailers. And sometimes I do 3 movie trailers, sometimes I do 6, sometimes I do a couple of blocks of movie trailers. That way I can share a lot of the movies that I enjoyed as a kid without having to say, here's the movie. Or here's a piece of the movie, an excerpt. I just like the trailers. Trailers are great. They're classic. They're vintage. They take me back, you know. The voice of the trailer guy. There was like a couple of key voices back in the 70s and 80s who did the trailer voices. Yeah, and those are classic. In a world gone mad, extremists have taken over. I mean, it's just a great, you know, there was always these great voices. Totally. I gotta redo the time machine opener. In a world gone mad, one man has the difference to make a difference in time and space. One man has the courage and the technology to say fuck you to everybody. Oh yeah, baby. in a world that's gone completely fucked up. Yep. Yuppers. So these are my glass seed beads that are shiny. They've got a little bit of shine and sparkle to them. So, yeah, this will probably be for the girls. I'll make them little ones for the girls out of this. And then I'll use the other one that's just straight, just colors, right? I think I'll use that one for me. Totally. Ha! I can't wait. I just can't. I say that a lot because I have no patience. I have to have patience, but I have no patience. Some of my favorite things to play with were the after you put this thing together, and then you get these little pieces of wood, you know, and it doesn't take much imagination to take little pieces of wood and cut them and shape them into something else, and then add them, right, to the plane or to the glider, right? That's why I think I'm going to get a couple of more of these, and I want to create a double fuselage glider or plane that's got two props. And then I may actually get some paper clips and some little Lego wheels or something and actually create landing gears and struts so that I can kind of create one of those little things that I used to do when I was a kid. You know, take something and then have fun with it, and then when the fun wears off, modify it and create new fun, right? That was fucking always awesome, you know. We had those little action figures, right? And we used to make parachutes for them and launch them off of the roof, use slingshots and get them to go up and then fucking parachute down, make gliders out of anything. I was big on imagination when I was a kid. I guess that's why I, you know, am such a kook today, because I had to create my own fun. I had to make my own toys. I had to make my own adventures. When I was allowed to go along with my brother and his friends on their adventures, I was always the idea man. I was always the guy that's, so we got to bring this, and we got to bring this, and we got to bring that. They're like, yeah. And then we get there and like, God, it's a good thing we brought him and this and that, you know. So, I love to, I still love to adventure. I just, physically, I just can't do it anymore. I'm hoping with the addition of the up and running, better running van, that I will be able to plan and carry out more adventures. I keep thinking a little trailer, just a little, something not too small. I don't want anything bouncing down the highway behind me that I cannot see. I want something heavy enough to stick to the fucking road behind me, something wide enough that I can put some little flags on it and actually fucking see it in my mirror, right? Something tall enough I can see out the back window. So I want to get something like that, and then something you can lock up and fill it with my camping gear and have it all packed in there, and just be able to hitch it to the back of the van and say, you know what, we got nothing going on for 2 days, let's go. You know, well, let's go. At the end of this work day, we're going to pack the van and have dinner, and then you guys can jump in the back of the van and go to sleep with the dogs, and I will drive us to our destination, and we will get to our destination and get up in the morning and set camp. You know, I mean, literally in the van, the girls can be sleeping in the back on the bed, and we can stop somewhere, and then I can just blow up an air mattress and sleep right behind my chair in the van. Between my chair and their bed is plenty of room to put an air mattress and sleep there, right? And then we get to where we're going, and we set up the canopy and the tent, the barbecue, and hang out for, a day. Hang out that night, camp, get up the next day, hang out, camp, get up the next morning and come home. The river, the beach, the mountains. We're like centrally located to go anywhere in Southern California and have a fucking blast. Right? So that's my goal, is this summer to do just that. Say, okay, what's going on this weekend? Nothing, let's go. What's going on middle of the week? Nobody's in school, nobody's working, let's go. A bag and the dogs and your pillow, and let's do it. Everything else is in the trailer. And then that way, in the van, we're comfortable. Take 2 seats out in the middle so that it's easy to get up and in the van. It's easy to move around. It's easy to set up a third bed or a second bed for a third person. Easy to get to everything that's in the cabinets. Room for the dogs on the floor, right? And then with the extension of the canopy outside the double doors and the screened-in area and the little fence for the dogs, we're fucking set, totally set. So those are my goals. My summertime goal is to have the van and a way to go. If I had a rack, I would do that. Just put everything on the rack. But we don't have a rack, so I got to get a little trailer. I don't know how. I don't know where. But we got to get a little trailer. Something small. I don't care if I have to hunch over to get into it. But it's got to be something that can be closed up and locked. And something big enough to put in, to wheel in our barbecue with a propane tank. Right? And to put in our campfire thing with the screen top. Right? The canopy, fold-up tables, chairs, the works, everything. So that when we get there, we set it up. And, here's the kitchen area. Here's the entertainment hangout area. Let's leash them dogs and go for a walk, come back, cook some food. I missed that. All right, last bong hit of the day. Yeah. Totally. All right, people. It's been fun. It's been real. But it ain't been real fun. No, really. It's been great. I love you. Take care of yourselves. You all know what to do, right? You're all used to this by now. Maybe you guys can tell me and type it into the comments down there. As usual, be cool. Be nice to each other. Spread peace and love. Not bullshit. Do something for yourself, but do something for somebody else too. Why? Because you can do that and it makes you feel good. All right? But most especially people out there, stay weird. Because if you ain't weird, ain't nobody going to be weird for you. Thank you so much for stopping by. I've had a blast. Be sure to stop by tomorrow morning, and we will take a look at Conspiracy Corner, This Week in History. And we're going to look in a cigar box full of my memorabilia, and that'll be fun. All right, guys. Take care of yourselves, really. And be nice. When you're driving around out there, think about the other person, too. Right? Maybe one little thing is going to set them off, right? You never know. All right, guys, take it easy. Adios.